Absalom, when he saw that he had murdered his own brother Ammon, fled to a far away place. When he went there, the essence of going there was to go and hide. Because to him, if he remains in the land of Jerusalem, then definitely something bad would have been done to him. Now, Absalom, after getting to this place, we are made to understand by the word of the Lord that a time came that he returned to Jerusalem. And now, when he came to Jerusalem, he sought permission from his father that whilst he found himself at Geshur in Syria, he made a vow to the Lord that if the Lord will bring him back to Jerusalem, he will worship and sacrifice unto God. Now, Absalom did some calculations and said to himself that if I were to be the king, I would have given justice to the people. Now, listen to me attentively, child of God. After returning from exile, and when he came to Jerusalem, he started doing some calculations. And the calculations he did were that if he happens to be the king, he would have offered the people of Israel perfect justice. Now, come to think of it, why would he even have such an idea, knowing very well that his father David the king was still on the throne? Now, we are told by the word of the Lord that anyone who saw him and bow to him because he happens to be a prince, he will just pat the back of the person. He will hold the person, trying to let the person stand on his feet, and he will kiss the person. All the people who encountered this gentleman by name Absalom received this kind of special treatment. And so what he did was to rewrite the wrong that he did in the past, so that everybody will come to appreciate the fact that he is or he was a changed person. This act of Absalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel. You see, there are certain things a person can do, and by doing that thing, the person can steal your heart. There are certain things a person can do, and for the mere fact that the person did that thing, it will create an impression that, oh, this person is a good person, and the person will succeed in stealing your heart. We are made to understand by the word of the Lord that the act of Absalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel. Now, listen to me. In our day-to-day life, you and I appreciate the fact that it is not easy to convince a man. It is not easy to steal the heart of a man. It is not easy to win the heart of a man. We always say that the hearts of men are very strong. And so if Absalom was able to do this, and he was able to steal the hearts of these men of Israel, then it means there was something hidden. There was something potent which was able to steal the hearts of these men. Because the hearts of men are not easily to be convinced. Absalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel. Now he sought permission from his father the king, as I have already intimated, that he wants to go to Hebron, not knowing it was a calculation. But he told his father that he made a vow to the creator of the heavens and the earth, that when he brings him back to Jerusalem, he will pay his vow to him. but it was a calculated attempt. Now that stands to reason that this gentleman hadn't repented, as he seemed to be portraying to the people who encountered him and to the people who came his way. When he got there, we are made to understand by the word of the Lord that a trumpet sounded, and the whole people who were with him shouted that Absalom reigns in Hebron. Wow. Somebody who told his father David the king that he was going to Hebron because he made a vow to God that if the Lord brings him back to Jerusalem, he will come to him and pay his vow. This gentleman did a calculation, found himself at Hebron, a trumpet was sounded, and the people who were with him shouted that Absalom reigns in Hebron. Now listen to me, child of God. The spirit of Absalom manifests itself in opportunism or self-advancement at the expense of others. I want to take it again. The spirit of Absalom manifests itself in opportunism or self-advancement at the expense of others. What do I mean by this, precious one? The point I am trying to make here is that Absalom's spirit is an opportunistic spirit, trying to find where there is an opportunity so that that spirit will strike. Absalom's spirit is a spirit that seeks to advance itself at the expense of others. Now watch this. And so the spirit of Absalom will always look for the opportune time to strike. The spirit of Absalom will always try to advance at the expense of others. That stands to reason that it might even be your turn and your time to advance, but the spirit of Absalom will try to advance at the expense of your life. But tonight I came to announce to somebody, tonight I came to decree and to declare that any Absalom spirit that is looking for an opportunity in your life, any Absalom spirit that is trying to advance at the expense of your life, tonight it shall not stand. Tonight it will not work, because God is on your side. The spirit of Absalom will always manifest itself in opportunism or self-advancement at the expense of others. Let me break it down to your level of understanding. You find yourself in an institution, in an establishment. You may have a colleague, and the colleague will always want to be advanced, will always want to find favor in the sight of the CEO at the expense of the others. That person might even be your bosom friend, but when it comes to advancement, because the spirit of Absalom is working in such a person, that person will always make a self-advancement at the expense of your life.